Welcome to day 2 of this JMeter session. And as a recap, so in previous day we have discussed about these topics like an introduction to software development and testing, types of software testing, functional and non-functional testing, introduction to performance testing and JMeter, right? Then manual automation, performance and security testing, tools used in functional and non-functional testing. Then some terms that is used in software testing that we have seen related to the testing thing. The need of performance testing, symptoms of application slowness, then example of loss that has been occurred by many brands because of the poor application behavior. Then technical definition of performance testing, then four objective of performance testing, purpose of performance testing, then need of performance testing tool, right? And difference between real user and virtual user. So what is virtual user? Then what is the need of performance what performance testing tools do, right? Basically what they do. So they have three roles to play, right? Then when performance testing can be done, actually this part was not recorded, so I'll discuss it again one more time, right? Apart from that, why to learn JMeter, we have seen then introduction, history, version, protocol supported by it and its feature. And one more topic which is not discussed, we'll discuss that also. Then how a performance testing tool like JMeter works, right? And need of Java installation for JMeter, why that is. Then we have seen Java JDK and JRE installation, and Java environment or system variable setup, right? Or we call it as a Java home path setup also. Then commands to verify JDK and JRE installation. So these points have been covered, excluding two points over here, right? So we'll see that. One is JMeter is not a browser, and one is when performance testing is done. Right, so this will cover. Apart from that, so this is a recap, right? Recap. And today agenda will be JMeter download, installation, launching, then its launching mode, and some other topics, right? So moving back to that two topics. So this part we were discussing at the end, and that was not recorded. Like when the performance testing should be done, right, or is done. So nowadays in today environment, it's a agile environment. So here everything happens parallelly only, right? But even though generally, let us say a module has been developed by a developer, right, and it goes to testing. So first, a manual and automation testing will be started in parallel, right? And after one round of functional testing, we call that is a functional testing. So one round of functional testing, okay. I'll write it later on. One round of basically function testing should be done for that particular module, and if that functional team says that it's okay and there is no such uh, critical or severe bugs in that, then we can go ahead and do the performance testing of that particular module, right? Now what is module? So module, we can think like that. Let us take any website or this Gmail only, right? Gmail only. So developer, let us say we'll click on Gmail, and then login page will come, right? So this logging in and then log out will be treated as a small module, right? So this is how the development occurs nowadays. A small modules are developed and then they are integrated, right? So that is what a module. Or we can say, if we open Flipkart, so here suppose here many, see, this Flipkart is a very big application. Here electronics tab, and then say so many pages, right? Then TV page, so many pages, men's and other tabs are there, and there are so many pages. So the, let us say, one people who will be developing on MI, right? So after that he will integrate it once the MI page, the development of MI page is done. So he will integrate with the main functional website, right? So that this part will be treated as a small module, right? A small module. So same way, a small module, when that is designed, first it is good, after the developer design it, it will go to the testing team, basically to the functional testing, right? Manual or automation. generally manual only, then automation, we can say parallelly also. Then once they verify and they say that okay, no such severe bug is there or no such critical issue is there, then that can be allowed for that is allowed for generally that is allowed for performance testing. Okay, so only after a one round of good functional testing we do the performance testing. This could be a question, this could be an interview question. Okay, it's an important point only. And yeah, one more thing that
Uh,
yes.
I would like to add here something for the benefit of everyone.
Yeah.
So, in the Agile world, it is not only at a module level, at every user story level, we can start looking to do automation at functional level, at an API level, and is classified for a performance test, then that user story at every once it is checked in, the identified regression set for the user story, impacted by the user story, as well as the performance test should be executed for the user story to be accepted and completed.
Oh, correct. Okay.
So that is in the current DevOps world.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, so one more point. Uh, so JMeter is not a browser. Okay. Uh, Let us say we'll go forward and we'll start using that JMeter. So you will see that JMeter behaves like a browser. So the simulator, we talked about the simulator yesterday, right? Why tools is required and what tools does. So basically tools simulate the real user behavior. It's kind of a simulator. Okay, so I'll discuss what we will be simulating and what other things. We'll see that. But tool here, this tool is used to simulate the same real behavior, real user behavior, like browsing the page, login, and other thing. So many people think that since JMeter is a tool which is simulating the behavior on a user behavior on a web application, so they think that it's a browser, but it's not a browser. Okay, so that we have to take a note of. And on website also they have declared it's not a it's not a browser, right? So maybe any interviewer can make some, like some beginners will be there, right? So for them some tricky question they will like ask. So it basically it's not a browser, it's behave as a browser but it's not a browser. So like how we have that aeroplane simulator for a pilot will be there, right? It is a simulator but it's not a real aeroplane, right? Like that we have to think. Now coming back, so we were at this PPT and yes, JDK and JRE installation and its setup and environment variable was done. Now we'll see JMeter download and launching on Windows OS, right? So once this is done and you verified using Java version and Java C version, then we are good to go. So what we have to do on Google, we have to type JMeter download and then open this page. And yes, so here latest version is JMeter 5.3. Now here two sections are there, one is binaries, one is source. Okay, so source is not for us, source is for developer. Developer mean not our company developer, no, the freelancer developer who want to develop something. Since it's a open source project, right? It's open source tool, so it's open source project. You can also download its source code and develop something for JMeter. So for them who want to enhance the JMeter, right? For them it's this this part is there, this section, right? So it's not for the person who want to use the JMeter, right? So we should not go here, it should not go here. It's for people who want to enhance JMeter. Okay, enhance JMeter. And I'll show you a list, like let us say download, release, changes history. Yes, so suppose here So let us say that in JMeter 5.2, when it was released, right, at that time some third party people helped in some bug fixes. So here you can see that every bug, like how we have Jira and Bugzilla, so they have Bugzilla, and every bug is reported, and it's open only, open to everyone. You can also click and read. So what was that bug and whether that is fixed or not. So in each version some bugs will be there, and that will always be fixed, right? So we can read that over here. Let us say this is 5.2 and the bug version they have given. So currently I clicked on 63450, right? So here, so this was the bug, and this is the Jira, Bugzilla, and if it is fixed, so all information will be given, like how it goes in our company infrastructure, like that same pattern only. So in that 5.2, few people help in enhancing the JMeter. So here you can see they are giving thanks, right? Thanks, we thank all contributors mentioned in bug and in improvement section. So these are the people who help in making it enhance, and this fellow is from India only. Okay, great. So he also helped in enhancing. Okay, and then these were the people who reported the bugs, who help in improving the JMeter. So you can also help in either you can develop something, or you can help in reporting a good bug to them, right? And if any known problem will be there, that is also listed in that particular version, so it will be listed over there, right? So in that same manner, anyone can download that section. This is the source code section, that's why source is written. You can download, and you can always develop something for them or enhance it, right? And how to raise the bug, right? How to raise the bug. Okay, so that we'll see later. A particular section is there, in that we'll see. For now, let it be. Okay. So this is not for the user who want to use that. It's for other purpose who want to develop something for JMeter. And then so our area is this binaries. Okay, binaries. We have to download in from here. Now here two lines are there. One is this line and another one is this line. So the above line is for Unix people. Unix slash Linux slash Ubuntu. Okay, those have if you want to execute JMeter, so you have to click here and then download that. Okay, the below one is for Windows and Mac. Okay, sorry for handwriting, but this is how it works. Windows and Mac OS. Mac OS. Okay, Mac OS. So below one. Now everyone who like mostly we have Mac or Windows only. So click here over here, and mouse is hovering. Just click on that, and it's a zip file. So for Linux it's a TGZ file for them. For us it's a zip file. Okay, for Mac and Windows. So we have to just click, and that will be downloaded. So it's a zip, and I have already there. So I'll show you. Program. Here it is. Okay, so it will look like this 5.3, and when you download, it's a very small size software, only 68 MB size, right? But now what we have to do, we have to extract that to use that. So right click and extract that, right? Extract here. So I'll go to C drive. I have already copied here, and I'll just extract it out. Okay. Done. So here that file has been extracted. Now let me refresh it. It will go above. Yeah, here. Okay. So this is what, and if you check the size, it's around 125 or 130 MB of software. 125 MB of software only, very small software. Now inside that we have uh, files and other some folders are there, and in that bin directory is very important directory, and then lib directory is another important directory, but basically bin is very important directory. Okay, bin was there in Java also. Yesterday we have seen inside JDK and inside GRE bin directory was there, right? So here JMeter also bin directory is there because they are on same technology, they are developed on same Java thing, right? Their folder structure is like that, and this bin is here also. So this bin is important, right? So this is how we can download, and there is no installation required. Just download, extract it, and start using it. So we'll see then how to use, right? So there are two way launching of it. So there are two way. The GUI mode. Sorry, basically three ways are there. Three ways. So one is GUI mode, one is non-GUI mode. We call it as a CLI mode, and third one is proxy mode. So these happen rarely, but we have to know the proxy mode. It happen rarely, but we have to know, right? So first we'll see. Uh, so where we have to go? We have to go inside the bin directory. Open this 5.3. Go to bin directory. Here you will find some list of files. Right inside that, here jmeter.bat file will be there. Okay, and it's a Windows batch file. Windows batch file. So we have to just double click on that. So when you double click, first this console will come. We call it as a JMeter console. JMeter. We call it as a JMeter console. Okay. This darker screen, right? So we call it as a JMeter console, right? When JMeter will finally launch, here you'll see one information will be coming. So do not worry, this is only information given by JMeter. And after that, here this JMeter will launch. This is the JMeter. So JMeter looks like this, and this is the only component we have in JMeter. So anyone from loader, I'm not sure. Right. So I'll take we'll do one introduction session tomorrow. So in load runner we have three components: view, gen, controller, and analysis. But here only one component, right? One component, and this is what. Here we'll do everything, all this stuff, right? Now whenever you'll launch this JMeter, it will be in dark color. First time when when you launch it, so its color will be like Dracula, I think. Yeah. So it will be looking like this. Okay, dark color, right? And if you do not like dark color, because yes, many things will not be visible. So what you can do? Go to options, right here. Go to options. There, look and feel is there. Look and feel, and many options are available. Okay, many options are available. I select metal. I prefer metal. Okay, metal is good. So you can also select. Click on that metal, and that color will be changed. So it's metal is like a little bit grayish color. So this is what launching the JMeter from GUI mode, and in that also using bat file. Okay, using bat file. So in GUI mode also we can launch JMeter from two ways. One is bat and one is jar, right? And why this is called GUI mode? Here we are using mouse cursor. That is what graphical user interface, right? So we are using mouse cursor and other thing, and then simply clicking. So ease of doing, right? Ease of doing is easy here. So that's why we call it as a GUI mode. Directly go there, click it, and open it. So GUI means graphical user interface mode, right? So one way is the .bat file, jmeter.bat file, and this is the best option. So we'll see later on why this is best. But basically we should launch the .bat only. Then one we have a jar file. So in that same bin directory, I'll close this JMeter. Okay. Here in the same bin directory, you'll find jmeter.jar over here. Java file. It's a executable jar file. Okay. So double click on that, and JMeter will open. So here JMeter directly open. Now if you have observed that dark console was there, right? When we launched the JMeter using JMeter.bat, so that didn't came here, right? That didn't came here. this time it didn't came. When we are launching from jmeter.jar, directly jmeter is launching. That console is not launching. Okay, so that is the minute difference between their launch. So that is the thing. But we should only launch from jmeter.bat. Why we'll launch? We'll see now. So this is the difference, right? This is the difference, and we can launch from jmeter.bat and jmeter.jar, but always prefer to launch jmeter from jmeter.bat, because that console is a very important thing. That jmeter console, the dark screen is coming. No? It's a very important thing. So this is preferable, and indirectly, this file calls this file only indirectly. Okay, indirectly calling. Whenever you click jmeter.bat, it's indirectly calling the jmeter.jar only. Correct. And where is the proof? So right click on this .bat and edit in a notepad, and you'll see over here in below one line is there. Here, okay. jmeter.jar. It has to call that jmeter.jar, that jar file. Okay. So you'll ask me, like, if it is indirectly calling that, so why they have given, right, or why we have to launch from jmeter.bat. So because of that reason. Reason is, if you launch from jmeter.jar, that console is not coming. Okay. Again, I am launching it. So see, directly jmeter is opening, that dark console didn't came. And if we launch from jmeter.bat, so that console first console will come, and then jmeter will come.
Here we can call other jar files also, na?
Pardon?
Sorry, here we can call other jar files also here, other than this jmeter.jar file.
I'm not getting, like.
Okay, we will discuss it offline.
Okay, okay. No, your voice is little low. That's why I'm not getting what you are saying.
I think, Vallabh, I just checked the JMeter jar file. It also set some environment variables for JMeter as well, along with invoking the jmeter.jar file, isn't it?
You opened in
Yes,
any
yes.
ID? Where you opened that?
In text.
No, jar file. It's a jar file. How you open that in a text? It will open and it will look like this. Right? Some confusion, I think. Right? So shall I go ahead, or you people have anything to discuss?
Go ahead, go ahead.
Okay. So here, when we launch from jmeter.bat, right? So first this console will come, and then this jmeter will come, and this console and jmeter are dependent on each other. So never close this, right? Never close this console. If you close this console, the jmeter will also close. So you have to keep that open. You can keep inside, like, let us say you can minimize that, and you can keep inside anywhere. Okay, because they are interdependent. I'll just close in front of you, right? If I close it, so you'll see that the jmeter went away, right? Jmeter went away. Now what is the beauty, why we are not calling this directly, why we are calling, why we are launching jmeter.bat? So the beauty, or the technical region, I'll tell you. Let it open. So it has launched, right? Now I'll take you to the example folder. So whenever in future you are,
Sorry, got disconnected. Sorry.
okay, okay. So whenever in future we are going to use and do the scripting and other thing in JMeter, right? So at that time, if JMeter sends any error, so that comes on that console. That's why this console is input. See here, one screenshot I have kept. This is that console only. And any error, let us say, like basically out of memory error, that is the many, that is, this is the most famous error that we receive. So if that error comes, anything happens, so JMeter will throw on that console. And one more screenshot, right? So here also, here some other out of memory and some other error was there, JMeter was throwing when I was doing the scripting and something, right, at that time. So this is the beauty of that console, and why that console should be that console is necessary, and why we should launch this JMeter using JMeter.bat, right? That is the use of this console, right? So these are the two way of launching the JMeter. One is using .bat and one is using jar, but .bat is indirectly calling the jar file only, right? But only beauty with .bat is JMeter, whenever we launch the JMeter with .bat, so this console comes, and this console will help in here some information will come whenever you are working on JMeter, and if any error happens. So that's why we prefer always to launch the JMeter from .bat file, okay, from .bat file. And one more region is there, so that I'll show you in the CLI mode, right? So these 2 points clear. Now we'll launch the JMeter second type. So first type is directly going and clicking on .bat or .jar, but basically .bat only, right? Now that is the first way. Second way is using non-GUI mode, or we call it as a CLI mode, command line interface. Okay, CLI is command line interface mode, and launching the same file. You launch the .bat or .jar, right, or simply JMeter. I'll see that. So anything you can do, we'll see. But calling the same file, only thing we are doing here is we are calling that using non-GUI mode or CLI mode. Calling means executing here, okay, launching or executing, whatever you can say. So what we have to do, we have to open the command prompt and CMD. So this is the command prompt, and then we have to navigate to the bin directory of JMeter using CD command. So CD slash, now let us say up to here, this is the path of my JMeter directory. Okay, this is the path of my JMeter directory. So I'll just copy that, and I'll put a CD and that path and hit the enter button. So it's a pointing, right? It's pointing to the bin directory, pointing to the bin directory. Now type here jmeter.bat, jmeter.bat, the file name, this file name, okay, whole file name with the file extension jmeter.bat, same we have to write, and then hit the enter button. So here you can see it has launched the JMeter, correct, launched the JMeter. Now as I told you, so whenever we are launching JMeter from non-GUI mode or command line interface, this command line is converted into that JMeter console itself. Okay, you can see here JMeter console. It has, after this command, I press the enter button, then here some information came, and then JMeter launched, and this acts as a console. If I close that, JMeter will also go, right? I'll just close. So this is one way. Before closing, I'll tell this is the JMeter.bat type, and just hit the enter button, and JMeter will launch. Now I have closed, right? I just clicked on that console and JMeter went away. So that is the thing. Now again let us open CMD, CD, and let us navigate to the bin directory, right? Now this time we'll launch using .jar file, okay, .jar. Earlier what we did, we launched .bat, now this time .jar file. Now jar file is a Java file, so we have to type the Java execution command to launch any jar file, okay. So that command is java -jar, Java, it went off my mind. Okay, just let me do one Google search. Java -jar, okay, very simple, just went out of my mind. So what we have to type, I can write somewhere here for let me write in braces. java dash jar, right, and dot jar file, dot jar file. Okay, so the command will be, first we have to type java, then dash jar, right, and then whole file name of that uh, Apache JMeter jar file, whatever we are seeing, this one whole Apache JMeter dot jar whole we have to copy. So F2 control all and copy that, and we have to put it here, and then we have to launch. Means hit the enter button, and it will launch. So this is the JMeter, and again if we see, this console is converted in the JMeter console. Okay, this command prompt. This is the command that I typed. After that, this information came, and this is the JMeter console. Right, it converted into the console itself. Even if you are launching Apache JMeter dot jar, it is converting in the console, right? So now you can think that JMeter people also has built this console as an inbuilt thing also, because they also think that it is a useful thing, right? So that's why we always launch JMeter with either you use from GUI mode. So launch the jmeter.bat file so that that console will come, or if you are launching from non-GUI mode, so always that console will come. Okay, and we cannot close the console. If you close this console, so JMeter will also close. So you can minimize that, and you can keep inside anywhere, just safe, because if I just click over here again, right, JMeter will be closed. See? Right, so that is the thing. Now one more method is there, simple method, okay, which is very simple. It's work in for Windows OS basically. No need to write .bat or .jar. Simply type JMeter and JMeter will open. So go here, cmd, then navigate to the bin directory, then cd. This is the full path. cd dash bin, okay, and then simply type JMeter. Simply JMeter, okay. No bat, no .bat, no jar, anything. Simply JMeter, and JMeter will launch. And this works in Linux also, or in Ubuntu also. Directly, if you in command, same, this command execution command are same. In Ubuntu also, you have to go to terminal and type JMeter, right? So here directly JMeter came, and this is the console. It got converted into console, right? So these are the things, and that is the importance of console, right? So two ways, one is GUI mode, one is non-GUI mode. In both GUI and non-GUI mode, what we are doing, we are launching .bat file or .jar file, right? But we should use .bat file only if we are launching from GUI mode. In non-GUI mode, three ways are there. Either you type jmeter.bat, or you type jmeter dash jar and jmeter, sorry, you type jmeter.bat, or you type java dash jar and then Apache jmeter.jar file, or simply you can type jmeter also simply. So it will work, right? It will work. So these are the two way basically. This third way is very rare, so this will be discussed later on at a particular time. For now, I am escaping that, right? Now, one best practice, that whenever you are launching okay, this one. So whenever we are launching JMeter, right, whenever we are launching JMeter, so once at a time, once, right, once if possible in your system, launch it with administrator privilege. It helps in creating registry entry for JMeter in system environment, right? And you can do it from either GUI mode or non-GUI mode. So how to do that? You can you can go here and right click over here and run as administrator, okay, like this. So JMeter will open with administrator privilege, and we have to do it once at means first time at least. First time means at least once you have to do in your system. Okay, but that thing is not mandatory. It's not mandatory. It's good. It's a good practice. And how we can do from command prompt? So first we have to launch the command prompt with administrator privilege. So cmd here run as administrator will be there, right? Now whatever the command will type, all command will be executed with the administrator privilege only, because here administrator is coming, right? So execute in same way like how we did the path. This is the path. Okay, so this is the path, and already I have launched the command prompt with administrator privilege, right? So cd and then path and then launch JMeter here, right? So JMeter will launch with administrator privilege if I do like this, right? So this it's only this point is only a it's only a tips, you can do or you cannot do. If you do, it will be better, right? So it's not that much mandatory. And since in your office environment, right, there you do not have no one has administrator privilege, so how you launch that, right? So as I said, once you have to do, if you are doing, it's good. If you are not doing, it's also good, right? But if you have a chance to do, so at least launch the JMeter with administrator privilege once, at least once. Okay, that's enough. And uh, one more thing, the beauty of that .bat file, here .bat file we have seen, right? So one beauty was that JMeter, we used to get the JMeter console, right? JMeter console, and in that JMeter console the some information will come. That is the beauty of JMeter console. And the heap size option, okay, so those people who are new, this will be little bit new thing, what is this heap size. But going forward we'll see what is this heap size. For now, just remember that this heap size option is present in the JMeter.bat only. If we right click this .bat and we open that edit with notepad, so here in this .bat only they have given the option to increase the heap. Okay, heap is a Java memory. This is the line responsible for that. So that is the reason why we have to use the JMeter.bat file, or what is the beauty of JMeter.bat file. Okay. So any questions over here in this topic, except number 3, because number 3 will be discussed later on. Nothing, right? So we'll move ahead. Now, importance of launching JMeter from CLI or non-GUI mode. Why we have to launch, right? Why we have to know that also. So sometime while launching the JMeter from GUI mode, the JMeter.bat may not work. So it happens many times. What will happen that because something got corrupted in the system, some Java setting or anything. So if you double click on this, it will not open. Okay, JMeter will not launch, it will not open. So at that time, what is the next option available to us? Launch the same this JMeter using the non-GUI mode, right, or command prompt mode, CLI mode. So that is the one beauty. Then load testing is done in non-GUI mode only. So that's why we have to know this CLI commands or non-GUI commands, right? Then JMeter is launched in non-GUI mode in Mac OS and Linux OS. So in I'm not sure in Mac we can double click or we can launch or not, but I know that in Linux or Ubuntu or any flavor of Linux, right there, and probably like I'm 90% sure that in Mac also it's launched in the non-GUI mode only via command prompt. We have to launch like how we have done, right? Then when proxy setting, the third launching mode of JMeter is there. So when this situation will come, at that time also we have to launch JMeter in non-GUI mode only. the CLI mode, command line interface, or non-GUI mode. So these are the importance and why we should know that why we should know launching JMeter in the CLI or non-GUI mode, because of this reason, and they are helpful. So going forward we have to face them, and that's why we have to know them. Okay, now I walk through of JMeter ID. So just a second. So a walkthrough of JMeter application ID, right? So here JMeter is there. Now here at top you will get the name, and it's saying 5.3, right, latest version. Then two ribbons are there, ribbon bar are there, or we call them as a toolbar also. So first toolbar is available in all ID. File is there, edit, search, run, options, tools, help is there, and second one is a shortcut, right? So two toolbars are available over here. Now in file some options are there, which generally all tool has right? So new, open, recent, save, save the plan, like that, exit, restart, these things are there in file. Then in edit, add, paste, right, selection, save node, these things are there. But basically it's kind of edit operation only, like in Microsoft Word also it will be there, and in PPT also it will be there. So these toolbars are there. Then here search is there, right? Search and reset search option. So anything we have to do. So going forward we'll take help of all the things, we'll see. Now this run is a specific, and it is utilized when we are doing the distributed testing. Master slave, hope you people have heard somewhere, right? Master slave thing, when we are doing that, at that time we need this run button. Okay, not now, at that we'll see. Then options tab is there. So in option, look and feel is there to change the color, and some other things are there. Okay, other things are there. Then in tools, again some other things are there, means some useful things only are there. So few will be using 1 2 3, some options are there, we'll see that. And last one is help. So let us say help, then useful links over here, then about Apache JMeter, all things. So help is again it's normal, every tool has help button, right? So that is what help button. And if you click help, so it will open the JMeter page. See, directly it has opened the JMeter page. Okay, JMeter website. And how to take help of take use of this help button, right? We'll see that as well. So that is what help. Now what is there on second toolbar, or this ribbon bar, what is there, right? So here shortcuts are given. These are all shortcuts. And what they are shortcuts for? So let us say in file you will see new is there, right? New. So this first button or first thing is the new only. If you hover the mouse, you will get to know, it will highlight new. See, new is popping up, right? So new, right? So it is new. Then again in that templates are there, right? Templates. So so this green button is a shortcut for template, and in file template are there, so that is shortcut. And then this icon, the third icon, yellow icon, is open a file, right? Open any file. So open button, save button are there, right? So open we have in file. So its shortcut is this yellow icon. Then again this floppy disk is there, right? So this floppy disk is for save, right? We have to save anything. So again that file here, save is there. Then this is seizure. Okay, this seizure is a cut, like how we have cut, copy option is there, right? So this is cut. And this is copy, cut, copy. And then this is paste option. Okay, paste. So you can hover your mouse, so you can see cut, right? This is copy, this is paste. And where they are, so they are in edit, paste is there, and in options, cut and copy will be there somewhere. Okay. Paste is there. Okay, I think cut is not given, or maybe somewhere it will be hidden. So again that is also a shortcut. So cut, copy and paste. Now this plus sign is for expand. expand. Okay, and this minus sign is for collapse. And where they are, so they are in edit, search, run, yeah, options, yes, in options there. Okay, so here collapse all is there, expand all is there, right? So that shortcut they have kept here. This is expand all, this expand all, this is collapse all. What is that expanding and collapsing? So we'll see that. For now, let it be. Then this is toggle. This is known as toggle. Okay, toggle means we can call it as a disable also, disabling or enabling. Any element if you want to disable or enable, right, then we use this toggle. Okay, toggle. Now suppose we all have done some programming somewhere, right? So in programming language, if you have to comment a line, then what we do, we give double slash, right, like that, and that the whole code will be commented out. So same thing, same pattern here. Some elements will be coming on soon when we will start using it. So then some element you want to disable or you want to enable, right? So that is what this is used for, toggling, disabling or enabling. And it is there, it's here, edit, enable and disable is there, right? Enable and disable, and toggle. So same thing, enable, disable or toggle. Then these two buttons are for running the test, play button. Okay, play button. Then here these two buttons are stopping the test, and these are two brooms. Okay, two brooms are there. They are there for clearing the results. So there, these use will see, all will be used soon, one by one, right? Clearing the results. Okay, clearing the results. Then this binary cooler is there, so it's for search. Okay. Then this yellow pencil is there, so it's for, or yellow broom is there, it's for reset search. Okay, reset search. And then this is function helper dialog box. So JMeter has some inbuilt function, right? So those functions are inside that, and I have listed out around 40 to 42 functions. We'll see that in our course syllabus, right? So if you click over there, you'll find this is the function helper, and here some list of functions are there here in this drop down. Okay, then again this is last one is the help button. So the shortcut of help is kept over here, right? So all are shortcut, every they will be there, like search, reset search. So here search, reset search is there, right? Simply this function helper dialog box, it's there in tool, here tools and function helper dialog. So again its shortcut is kept. So all these are shortcut icon, like JMeter people thought okay they are important, so they have made as a shortcut over here, but they are all present in this first toolbar. Okay, tool. Now coming back on the left hand side, you'll see something. So their first thing which is looking like 00 something 00, so that is a timer. When our test will run, timer will start. Okay, so that is timer. After that, one danger symbol is there. Okay, like this over there. I'm talking over there. Okay, so that danger symbol is for warning, or any error will happen, then it will throw an error or warning. Okay, and then after that one 0 is there. Okay, 0. So danger symbol, and then 0 is there. So how many error or how many warning we have received, that it will show. Okay, and then in between here 0 by 0 is there. So that is for number of user. So we'll see that soon. Let us say how many number of users are there and how many number of users are running, that it will tell. And the last icon, which is kind of this, it's like this, right? So it tells that it changes its color whenever test is running, right? So currently it's in gray color, then it will change in green color, right? So that is the thing. Now coming here, this is the first element. It's known as test plan. Okay, easy to remember, right? Test plan means any test plan is the performance software testing word only, right? In manual testing we used to hear this test plan, test strategy, right? Test scenario, test case, so test plan. Okay, so this is the element parent element, and everything will come inside that. So it's a father of everything. Okay, it's a root. And if you right click over here, so you'll see that add, and here these are the major components of JMeter, and there are around 10 to 12 major components of JMeter. So these are those, and each component is divided into some sub components, okay, sub elements. So so in this course syllabus, if you observe, so first component test plan, it has nothing, right? It's a father of everything. Then we have non test element, 2 to 3 component there. Then thread group, 6 component there. Then logic controllers, and again 18 logic controllers are there, 18 logic controllers. Okay, then sampler, and 12 samplers are there, important one. Then config element, then in that 13 config elements are there. Then assertion, right? Again they have 7 to 8 sub elements. Then timers, then 6 to 7 timers. Then listeners are there, right? And again listeners are around 13 to 14 listeners. Then post processor, pre-processor, so again 4 to 5 element in them. And post processor, so again 7 to 8 elements in them, right? So these all what I have highlighted in black color, they are all major components. We call them as a major, the main components, right? Main, and they are divided into some subtypes, some elements, right? So on an average, if you count them or multiply them, so these 10 or 11 major components all have on an average 60 element if you make them total, right? Let us say 5 here, 8 here, like that. If you add them up, so 60 plus element are there in JMeter, right? And how to get? So as I said, right click over there and go to add, and see in thread group 3 are there. Then in config element few are there. Then in listener few are there. Then timer few are there. In preprocessor few. Then post processor here few. Assertion here few. Then test fragment, it's a single one. Then non test element here 3, right? And at thread group level, so inside that we have to add thread group. So here
Maybe.
just a
Hello.
second, just a second. So here sampler, inside sampler you'll find some elements, and in logic controller these 18 logic controllers are there, right? So this is what you will find all thing at test plan level, or test plan is the parent of everything. Okay, go ahead please.
Hello, Vaibhav.
Go ahead please.
So when you were explaining these options, right, the test plan, the thread group, all these, so will be you telling us comparing with the load runner also? Because we have experience in load runner but doesn't in JMeter, so we can correlate them.
Yes,
Will be
yes,
easy.
sure, sure.
Oh,
Okay. Right, so this is the walkthrough of JMeter, and this is the JMeter tool. Now how to use, what to use, we'll see that later on. So this is only the introduction. Now coming to one more thing, that default color of JMeter will always be dark color, right? Dark color. Whenever you first time launch it, it's always in dark color. Later you can change the color. JMeter is download and use tool. Here no installation is required. Directly download it, unzip it, and start using it, right? That is the thing. Now JMeter directory can be carried to any location. So the directory means in C drive, this is the directory that we extracted, right? So you can carry it anywhere. It's not like that you have to keep in C drive only. No, you can keep in D drive, E drive, F drive, G drive, wherever you wish. You can keep on desktop also, right? But uh, as a good practice, you can keep in C drive. But in, let us say, in a client environment and other things, so there they give a separate drive only, right? So every tools will be available there, right? So it can be kept anywhere. Just copy and move it anywhere. You can just copy that and you can put it anywhere, let us say I want it on desktop also, so I can paste it here, right? And I can start using from desktop also, correct, like that. So that is the thing. Now you can rename the main JMeter directory. Okay, so let us say that so on desktop it has been copied inside that bin directory is there, and I start using from here also, correct. Then yeah, so this this is the main directory name. You can rename that and make it just small also. If you find it's a little bit big, you can rename that. So let us rename that. JMeter. I don't want Apache, just I want JMeter, right? So I can always rename version 5.3, and let us say it's a PR batch, so PR, right? Like that I have done. So that way you can do. Why it's throwing error? Because here JMeter is opened, so we'll close the JMeter first. Try. Okay, so like that you can rename, but only rename the main directory. Okay, not the files inside that. Do not rename anything over here or inside the bin directory, anything. Do not do that until unless you know very much that what you are going to do. Do not do anything, right? Do not do anything. Only the main name, main file name, you can change, make it a small, little bit a small, right? Why to keep it unnecessarily very big? So you can make it a small. And now also even after renaming I launch, so it will launch, right? No problem in that. Then you can create a shortcut of that .bat file on desktop. Okay, so here it has launched, right? Now one more tips, that let us say that whenever I have to launch JMeter, so I have to come in, I have to open my C drive, then I have to come and search for JMeter here, then go to bin directory and then search for .bat file. It's a long process, right? So what you can do, you can copy the shortcut. So copy this and let us go to the desktop. So desktop, and here paste shortcut. Here two item will be there, paste and paste shortcut. So what we have to do, we have to do the paste shortcut, right? Always remember paste shortcut, not the paste shortcut over here, right? And from here directly you can launch the JMeter. Let us say I have launched the JMeter. So that these are some tips. And then one more thing, that let us close it. Generally this is practice in most of the project as a standard only. So avoid giving any space or any special character while naming of any file or folder. Okay, so if you observe here, let us say that this is my folder structure of JMeter example, right? So here I have did what, here between my and workspace I have given one underscore, JMeter workspace I have given one underscore, JMeter example I have given one underscore score. We should not give direct white space. White space means a space between two folder. Generally that is a best practice. Okay, and in JMeter you have to follow that or error will come. So suppose this JMeter file name I renamed something, but I want to give a space like something, right, or in between them. No, we cannot do that. Okay, you can do that. It will not throw error here, but when we are doing some operations later on while using JMeter, it will throw error. So never rename any file or folder structure with a space in that. If you want a space, you can give underscore, right? Underscore like that to make it beautiful, look beautiful if you want. And in company environment also this is generally practice, right? So keep it as a good habit. Basically from the JMeter point of perspective, it's required. Then so for today, yeah, launching JMeter on Mac OS, right? So those people who have Mac OS, again same thing. There also you can test the Java installation using Java DOS dash version, Java C dash version. If Java is not there, so install JRE JDK. Now you can watch on YouTube, many videos are there how to install, right? I am not aware of that, never tried Mac. Then after that, once that is done, same process, download this Apache jmeter.zip file, unzip that, and using cd command go to that particular location. Only thing in Mac what you have to do, in Windows we are just typing jmeter simply, right? Jmeter.bat or jmeter simply. Jmeter is launching. There you have to type sh jmeter.sh, this command, right? Sh jmeter.sh, and if you see here, here sh file is there, right? Jmeter.sh file. So this sh file you are calling for Mac people, Mac OS. Okay, Mac OS. Right, correct. So this is command for Mac, and then for Ubuntu or Linux things. So there again we have to install Java version and Java C version. Again you can check over there. You have to open the terminal, right, and you can do. Then if you want to install JRE and JDK, so directly commands are there. You can use directly command. I have tested them and they are working. So sudo apt get update, right? So what happened actually in Linux, they have on app store, like how we have Google Play Store is there, right? Or any app store is there. iPhone has its own store. So Linux people have their own app store, or Linux, Unix, or Ubuntu, we can say. These are all brothers only, right? In different flavors. So there OpenGRE and JDK is there by default. They call it as OpenGRE and JDK. Means yesterday what we have seen, that to download the JDK we have to visit the Oracle website, right? We have to visit the Oracle website, and from there we have to sign up and then we have to download. But in this app store for Linux or Ubuntu or Linux, Unix, right? So there on their store already Java and JRE and JDK are kept, and we do not have to just we do not have to visit Oracle or anything, or we do not have to sign up, and just simply go there, open the terminal, right? Terminal is there in Linux, Ubuntu, everywhere. Type Java version, Java C version, check whether it is installed or not. If it is not installed, then type this command sudo apt get update. So it will give you a list. There you get OpenJDK version which is available. Then apt search OpenJDK to search it, right? And sudo apt get install OpenJDK 8. Basically I think 8 is available. So whatever the JDK file that you get in the search, type that sorry, means in the search, when you type this command, so you'll see some list of search result, right? So from that whatever the name you suits, 8.1, 8.2, everything, or whichever version, version 8 update 251, like that, anything will be there. So it, you can change this part as per your convenience, but this will remain same, this part. And once that is done, you hit the enter button, then Java will be installed, right? After that in Ubuntu, if you have to download the JMeter, there Mozilla Firefox is there. Go by default the Mozilla Firefox is the browser given in Ubuntu. Open it, go to visit the JMeter website, and download the first file, right? This file, this tgz, this is for Linux, Unix, or Ubuntu. Okay, and then unzip that, and you can start using. Or what you can do, if you do not want to download in using directly GUI interface, means using a Mozilla browser, so their command is there, wget command, and the source path. Source path where you will get, so let us say if you right click here, and you will get copy link address, right? So I'll just show you an example. This wget will not work here, but in Linux it works. So you have to type what, wget and that address, right, like that. And in Linux it will just download that file and it will store for you, this wget command, right? And then after that we have to unzip it. So unzipping in Linux, this command is used, tar then dash xf, and then that file name that you have downloaded means this is a tar file. This is known as tar file, tgz. So after downloading wherever the location is, you have to give the file that file path, and along with tar -xf and then file path, and that will be extracted out. And then simple, everything is simple. Then using a cd command, navigate to the bin directory, right? jmeter directory, then bin directory, and then type dot slash and jmeter, dot slash jmeter, right? And jmeter will be launched over there. So these are the updates for uh, launching jmeter in Windows, Mac OS, and Linux, or Ubuntu, or Unix. Right. So today we cover up to here, day 2. Tomorrow we'll start something related to again performance testing, some core concept of performance testing, right? Architecture of application, this thing. It will take some 2 to 3 days. Then we'll start again JMeter. Right? This is the plan. So thank you everyone for attending. Have a good day.